The lights do not flicker when the fuel runs out. They simply stop. 1 second your city hums with refrigeration, traffic signals, water pumps, data centers, gas stations, hospital ventilation systems, and the invisible infrastructure of modern civilization. The next second, silence expands outward like a pressure wave. Elevators stall between floors. Fuel pumps freeze mid-transaction. Emergency generators kick on briefly, drawing from tanks that were never designed for prolonged grid failure. Within hours, the most fragile element in the system reveals itself. Stored fuel, not oil in the ground, not pipelines across continents, stored, stabilized, accessible fuel at the point of use. And that is where the real vulnerability begins. A grid-down fuel shortage is not simply a matter of scarcity. It is a matter of physics, chemistry, logistics, and time. Modern supply chains operate on just-in-time delivery. Refineries process crude oil into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel in continuous cycles, feeding regional terminals that distribute to retail stations in tightly synchronized intervals. Most gas stations hold 3 to 5 days of supply under normal consumption. Those underground tanks are replenished by tanker trucks that rely on diesel. Diesel distribution relies on functional pipelines, electricity-driven pumping stations, and digital inventory systems. When power fails or communications collapse, the cascade begins. Fuel is not only an energy source, it is the blood of the logistical organism. When circulation stops, tissues die. The common misunderstanding is that fuel shortages occur only because of panic buying or political decisions. Panic buying accelerates the timeline, but it does not create the vulnerability. The deeper issue is energy density combined with volatility and degradation. Gasoline, for example, begins to oxidize and degrade within months. Ethanol-blended fuels absorb moisture from the air through tank venting systems, leading to phase separation where water and ethanol settle at the bottom of storage containers. Diesel is more stable but can support microbial growth at the fuel-water interface, producing sludge that clogs filters and injectors. Even in stable conditions, stored fuel requires rotation, stabilization, and controlled environments. The average household that keeps 5 gallons in a red plastic can in a garage believes they have prepared. In reality, without stabilizers and rotation schedules, that fuel may be unusable precisely when needed. Hidden within emergency management planning documents is a critical reality. Backup generators are not designed for indefinite operation. Hospitals often maintain 48 to 96 hours of diesel on site under regulatory guidelines. Some critical infrastructure facilities store more, but rarely beyond a week without resupply. Those tanks are subject to the same degradation issues as any other. Fuel polishing systems are required to remove water and microbial contamination. Without electricity, those systems may not function. If a grid-down scenario persists beyond several days, even institutions with generators face diminishing reliability. The problem is not starting the generator, it is sustaining it. Evidence from past disasters illustrates this mechanical truth. After major hurricanes, refineries and ports shut down, not because crude oil vanished, but because power outages and flood damage prevented processing and distribution. During Hurricane Sandy, fuel shortages in parts of the northeastern United States were caused largely by power loss at terminals and gas stations, not by absence of supply in the global market. Stations with generators could pump fuel, those without remained dry. The bottleneck was electricity. In more recent cyber attacks targeting pipeline control systems, fuel availability was disrupted not by physical destruction, but by precautionary shutdowns of digital operations. Modern energy infrastructure depends on SCADA systems, automated monitoring, and synchronized logistics. Interrupt the digital nervous system, and the muscular system freezes. Survival implications extend far beyond personal transportation. Diesel powers agricultural equipment. It moves freight trains and long-haul trucks. It drives backup generators at water treatment plants. Municipal water systems rely on electrically powered pumps to maintain pressure. If fuel cannot reach backup generators, water pressure drops. And when water pressure drops, contamination risk rises because backflow prevention fails. That means potable water systems degrade rapidly in extended outages. Fuel shortage is therefore not isolated. It is a multiplier of infrastructure collapse. Food refrigeration fails. Medical supply chains stall. Emergency responders face rationing of operational capacity. Every additional hour without resupply increases systemic strain.